In life is that people are the X factor. They constantly surprise us, both in amazing ways and not so much. We're Ben and Sia, and welcome to the Gnaw on This Business Bites podcast. This show is all about real life things we all deal with every day, how they relate to business, and how to make some sense out of our daily chaos. Welcome to the show. And welcome to another episode of Gnaw on This Business Bites. I'm Ben, this is Sia, and here's a question for you. Do you sleep? Some of us, Sia, wake up, we're working here. Some of us have no trouble going to sleep. That's me. You put me down anywhere, I could probably sleep standing up. The problem is, I don't stay asleep. I could be up 4 or 5 times a night. And there are times at 2 o'clock in the morning, I'm sitting there pacing the halls because, I just can't go back to sleep. Other people, Sia, you may be one of them, take forever to go to sleep. And sometimes you're sitting there going, you're up all night. So we need to sit there and think about this. How do you sleep? Are you putting yourself in the best position to sleep? Are you thinking about the wrong things before you go to sleep? How do we sleep more effectively? Because you know what? As we get older, sleep becomes an issue. So, Sia, let's gnaw on this.
Sunshine. We're literally talking about me not sleeping literally this morning. I tucked my little hiney to bed around midnight, and I can tell you many reasons why I did not get any sleep, but I didn't go to bed till 5:30. And I was miserable knowing I couldn't fall asleep. I was miserable. And I also know I wasn't helping the cause. There's a lot of reasons why. Stress. Are you overthinking something? Are you not addressing something internally? Are you taking care of yourself physically? Are you taking care of yourself mentally? Right? Are you on your fracking phone? Look, I got into a mess. I went down a rabbit hole and I have this tendency, I'll get fixated on something, and that's the way my brain functions. I will forget my birth date, but I will run down that path and do my boyfriend's genealogy and go all night, because I'm just interested, right?
Right.
Yeah, so I had one of those rabbit hole nights. I wasn't tired, didn't feel tired, wasn't even groggy until I realized when I started seeing, the sunrise coming, I'm like, crap,
I better get an hour's worth of sleep so I can be somewhat human.
So, yes. No, full disclosure, man. I looked at my schedule and I was like, okay, my first meeting's at 10 a.m. Mama's going to sleep until 9 o'clock. I do not care. I do not care. I do not run that world where I'm like, didn't go to bed, but I'm just going to work out at 5 o'clock in the morning. Hell no, that's not me. But I think, why do we not sleep as well? I'm getting older. My hormones are all changing. It's out of whack. Am I helping the cause? I will say I'm changing some aspects of my diet, but I don't fall asleep easy. My boyfriend can fall asleep in 15 seconds, but I cannot do that. I've never been able to do that my entire life.
Yeah, I'm weird this way. I mean, I could have coffee up to 15 minutes before I go to bed. I could drink an espresso and go to sleep. However, if I eat after 8 o'clock at night, I just toss and turn all evening. I'll just toss and turn, and I don't. It's something about having that full belly of food late at night and not digesting it. I can't do it. And for me, it's you're right. It's the phone. It's the movie that I'm watching at the end of the night. It's all those things that even if I fall asleep, I'll have some kind of weird dream, and all of a sudden I'm up at 2 o'clock in the morning and I can't sleep for 2 hours. The one thing that saves my bacon more times than not is that I've put a pen and paper beside my bed, because it's usually if I'm getting up and I can't go back to sleep, there's something rattling around in my brain. I've got an idea for a blog post. I've got an idea for a podcast. I got an idea for a new venture or whatever. And if I don't write it down, I'm toast, and I'll just toss and turn. But I know at 7 o'clock in the morning when I'm supposed to get up, I'll get up and it'll be gone.
Mm.
And all those brilliant ideas. So I've got a notebook beside my bed. I sit there and I write down these things, just a few notes. What was it about? What was I thinking about? And then I close the book and I can go to sleep. But, I'll do things like I do not have my phone in the same room that I sleep. Period. End of story. My phone is on silent. It's actually turned off after 8:00 at night. I never watch scary movies at night because I know I'm going to be up. We all have to find the triggers. What are the things that impede our sleep? And we have to work, and yours are going to be different from mine, and mine are going to be different from yours.
Yeah.
But we need to sit there and think and sit there going, okay, what do we need to do to be able to have restorative sleep? Because if we don't, I don't know about you, I'm cranky. I'm miserable to deal with. I'm not as sharp as I need to be. I shouldn't be in meetings. There are days that I just should not be in meetings because I'm going to be short with people. It's not just the sleep. It's the ramifications of not sleeping effectively. And we need to start thinking about this because none of us are superhuman. None of us can go 36, 48, 72 hours without regenerative sleep and still be able to function at 100% or even at 90%. And I think those are the things we need to think about. It says, okay, if I don't sleep, if I don't get those 6, 7, 8 hours of sleep, and you're going to make me yawn, I'm going to sit there. I'm going to sit there and go, I can never be as effective the next day. Like I'll never be perky on this podcast at 8:00 on the West Coast if I don't sleep.
No.
I can be on a podcast at 6:00 in the morning and be pleasant as punch, but I'll bet you I went to sleep at 9:00 the night before.
Oh my God. Talking about sleep. Considering I went to bed at 5:30, let me tell you, my friend, I am like, you're making me sleepy.
I'm trying not
sleepy.
You're not sleepy.
Oh, it reminds me of the Smiths song. It's like a sample they did of this like German speaker. Okay, sorry. Anyone that wants to listen to Smiths, check it out. It's on a lot of the Bombs album. Anyway, all right. So, yes, let's talk about this elusive thing called sleep because
Encyclopedia Sia.
Of music. I know, of random music.
The music encyclopedia of Sia. Yes, we are going to create one.
I know. It's frightening. Like my DJ in my head scares me at times because it dictates my mood. And that also, when I don't get my sleep, my DJ is like, woohoo, all over the place. And I have to be very cognizant.
All of a sudden, you're playing Ramones at 11 on the amp.
Yeah. Dun, 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 dun. I want to be sedated. I have started taking melatonin at times, and I used to never do that. And the problem with melatonin, it will get you sleepy, but it does not keep you asleep, like you say.
Only if you could get the 24-hour time release ones, and that helps.
Yeah, I like my gummies, and it's like a nice little chewy. Sleep. Here's where I think LinkedIners, I think, will understand this, is this culture of not sleeping. Oh, I can work on 4 hours of sleep. I work on 3 hours of sleep. I don't think that's a badge of honor. When I hear people tell me they work 4 hours or sleep 4 hours a day, I love you, Dr. CJ, but girl, go to sleep. I don't think that's healthy. It's a small percentage of the population that can do it. And if you're one of those very few, that's great. Congratulations. But the human body is not designed. It's meant, you have to reset yourself. It's been proven people go insane without sleep. So why do you think we celebrate this stupid culture of no sleeping? I don't understand that.
Well, it's a form of torture. A form of torture is keeping people awake in a well-lit room. That's used around the world, as a form of torture. If you really want to get, underneath somebody's skin and get into their psyche, keep them awake for 48 hours. And then pretty much they're going to tell you anything they want to know, most people, just so they can go to sleep.
Yeah. I mean, it's, my goodness gracious. I mean, the people have gone insane for it, right? They get delusional. They see things. They start imagining things. It is your body's way. And, call it our alien overlords. That's how they programmed us, okay? Like, blame the Matrix for why we need our sleep. But why do we I still see people who are very proud of the fact that, I went to midnight and I wake up at 4:30 so I can journal and meditate. And I'm like, I ain't journaling or meditating at 4:30 in the morning if I go to bed at midnight. Hell no. You want to see you want to see a bitter Betty? Then talk to me at 4:30 and 5 o'clock in the morning when I'm expected to be meditating and journaling. Like, why do we encourage that? Because I see so many people on LinkedIn sell this idea that, and don't get me wrong, there's a lot of people who get up at the crack of dawn and both pre-dawn and do all that great stuff. I'm not knocking.
Yeah, but a lot of them go to sleep at 9 or 10 o'clock at night.
That's what I'm saying.
But they don't tell you that. They don't tell you that they go to sleep at 9 or 10 o'clock at night. They just say, I'm up at 5 o'clock in the morning and I'm at the gym at 5:30 and this and that and the other thing, blah, 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 blah. I mean, that's great. Good for you. But you're probably asleep by 9 or 9:30 in the at night.
Dude,
which is fine.
I guess.
If that's a lifestyle you want.
Yeah. I mean, but okay. So the sleep thing, okay. I'm a late night person. I've always been a late night person. I have tried to do the morning thing. I figured, I'm old now. Maybe I should start trying to get up in the morning. My brain does not like that. My brain likes to work at night. I just turn on. I get excited. Yeah. So why can't we celebrate the fact that if it's 6, 7, 8 hours, that you're just getting 6, 7, 8 hours where it's done during the day? Why can't we just celebrate that? There's someone else I was talking to in the context of sleep is this gal I spoke with, love her to death. She looked at me. I was like a minute late, shocking. And she's like, hey, sorry, I just woke up from my nap. And I looked at her and I said, thank you for saying it. Naps, yay or nay? Are you a napper? Do you care? Do you judge? Where do you stand on naps?
I wish I could nap. Honestly, I really wish I could nap. I'm one of these people, if I'm out, I'm out.
Oh.
Like I can't do the 30 minutes. Like I have friends of mine that can go down for 30 minutes and they are just like, boom, ready to go again. And I'm just not like that. If I'm down, I'm down for 4 or 5 hours.
Oh, wow. Okay. That's interesting.
Yeah. And so I just don't sleep in the middle of the day because I know I'm going to be wiped out because I'll go to sleep at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. I'll wake up at 6 or 7 and all of a sudden then I can't sleep through the night. So it's one of those things where I absolutely applaud these people who can take naps in the middle of the day. Lots of people I know do. And I applaud people who can do it. I'm just not one of those people that can just power nap. And I truly wish I could.
I will say I don't power nap consistently. Like usually if I need to go down for a nap, it's largely because I had a crappy sleep. Like honestly, today after you and I are done, chatting, I might just take
She's going for a nap.
I might be down for a siesta. But no, I do not do that 30-minute nap. I try, but mine are usually about 45 hour. Like I can't do, and they say don't do that. They say like you don't want to get into REM. You just want to get just enough to cycle up. I know there's some very smart friends of there. So I would like the studies on that because you do run the risk when you do nap to sleep too long and then you wake up even more tired afterwards. And that I find really fascinating as well.
So we should leave it there and just sit there to ask the group. It says, how do you sleep? Like if you're up at 5 o'clock in the morning, cool. But really, honestly, when do you go to bed? And if you do, are you really functioning during the day? Or do you go to sleep at midnight? You're up at 5 o'clock in the morning and you're down for an hour and a half or 2 hours in the middle of the day. You know what? It's like working. Some of us work late at night. Some of us work early in the morning. We're going to all do it differently. But the thing is, we got to make sure we're taking care of ourselves.
True.
So I'm Ben.
I'm Sia.
And we'll see you soon.
Hey. Thanks for listening to another episode of Gnaw on This, Business Bites. If you liked what you heard, we most humbly ask that you like, share, and hit that subscribe button. And if you want to communicate more effectively within your organization, contact Ben at yourbrandmarketing.com or me at brilliantbeammedia.com. We can help you build your community, brand awareness, and personality through digital content and podcasting. We cannot wait to hear from you. So see you next week for another episode of Gnaw on This, Business Bites.